Thank you so kindly. Let me recognize the fact that we are most pleased to always have you, our good friends, especially the focus in our person, to convey our message to our constituents. On behalf of the city government, we want to seize this moment to extend our deepest appreciation and congratulations to our Muslim community who just preserved 30 days of fasting and praying for our country. We also want to say thank you to the Monrovia City Government family who just organized me and started Ramadan dinner in appreciation to our Muslim brothers. For us, our leadership is to enhance the religious tolerance in which Ambassador Weir is so dearly interested. And we think the way to do that is to continuously demonstrate that by our activities. Since the inception of the confidence we repose in us by His Excellency Ambassador George Weir, we have embarked on this brilliant initiative, and unless they just ended the pandemic that are confronting our country, not just only unique in our country, but the war around. We also, and let the message go forward, it's not just also the Muslim community, we also engage, and you can be aware, I'm a Christian, particularly the Methodist denomination. We also here observe an Easter engagement. Whenever there's Easter around, we also engage. We also have an Easter dinner. It is a time we come in fellowship, because Liberia is largely a religious society. You may not be interested in telling you exactly what religion you are compulsory to believe, but we are respectful of each and every one of us religion in this country. So as such, we want to say thank you to our distinguished Muslim brothers. They sent yesterday on the Ramadan dinner, they get tons of calls, both from America and whom some people don't see it be a good idea, some people appreciate it, and some people think it's a platform where people go out. We want to say to you, on our leadership, we reserve the right to protect the right of people to sin. We also protect the right of people not to sin. We are here to foster Liberia is the only singular matrimony that we share collectively. So we will do everything possible to ensure that the sanctity of this country will not be undermined by any insensitivity of religious insensitivity. So we respect the fact that here, as the chief administrator of the city, we want to say to you, we continue to engage. Sometimes people think that is not our way, but we want to say to you, we have many ways to engage. Why is it one of our primary responsibility to ensure that the city of Monrovia is clean, green, and safe. You may want to think about safety, security matters a lot. We don't want to be in a city where the citizenry are threatened and their security is at stake. There are a lot of stuff that are going on, but we are gradually trying to cope and come up to a date so that we, in the middle week of the Monrovia city, can feel a little bit pleased. The other aspect, we're working also, we're making subscribe. We want to be very grateful to our international partner, the European Union, the World Bank, and a couple of them. we are making, like I said to you, we're hoping this year we can be able to transition from what we are collecting our waste to primary waste collection, where we can begin to engage waste directly and particularly from our respective homes. Our people have the culture of just taking waste and placing it into public places, and people do not pay for it. And the private sector, people feel the people doing it in skimmages, but it's not organized, it's not well structured. Even those of the people who goes around, like the CBE, who collect the community-based entrepreneur, who collect the waste, when they go, they have nowhere to place it. They take it to the skip bucket, and they don't pay even to the Monrovia city government. But all people know is that this city must be clean. It's true, the city must be clean. The city must be clean in collaboration with your attitude, with your mindset. And what mindset is changing your mindset, your approach, and how you govern and how you approach. So with that, we are certain we're getting there. Hopefully, we want to move from where we are. I'm glad that we have the Director General who is far seated over there, Daniel is seated here. He's doing tremendously well with our little resources, with the challenges we bring, but we try everything that to give up. It is our fundamental responsibility to ensure we live up to that. We want to say to you, we want to use this time to say to you, we will be moving into Waterside, a long-standing project. We will be sent for the end of this month. We will be communicating. Now we're communicating to our people. The marketeers. We send our community-based people there to educate them that those structures were built for them to use them. It's not for them to abandon them. There will be a strict jacket rule on that. We will come there to educate them. If you want to sell the Waterside, you have to utilize those structures. We do not want for the Waterside to be disorganized. We think that the purpose of having government invested money into that. That is not donor money. It was the way that the president saw, so to be able to intervene to solve some of the issues that Mr. Money said, this president is a problem-solving president. Some of those problems are directly affecting the people. And there are a lot of complex issues. We'll be working on them, but he has a culture. While we move towards solving the complexity of our issues, of our problem in this country, he also thinks it quite appropriate to also solve some of those immediate ones that is directly confronting the Liberian people. Take by example, the University of Liberia. It was one of the long-standing issues where students down in terms out were protesting, was in disenchantment, but he said, rest assured that you can go to school and you got no headache about tuition. He intervened on that. Not only he did that at the University of Liberia and all the public universities in our country, he also looked down. And now, during our days, we call Wyatt and ex-wives. He taught that there are a lot of vulnerable kids, parents care a lot of credit, so the government will begin to share that responsibility so that wives will be paid by government. It's strenuous. Can you imagine a very stringent economy with a lot of competing priority in the country? But this president yesterday trying to hard-working people of sincerity, people of integrity. I want to say to you, the president, because of the bad condition of the rules, President Trump could not materialize the goal 17. It should have been expected to be today is the 17th of May. Today the president is expected to arrive in Lofa County. We want to say to our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of Lofa County, the zoos and the chiefs, the farmers and the hunters, I want to say to you, the president being very magnanimous, being very developmental oriented, otherwise he could not just go to Lofa because of the Lofas. He talked to people and say, why are you announcing that? Why you are the mayor? Why you have to say that? I want to say to you, we are sons of Lofa and we are proud sons of Lofa. We are no prodigies. We want to say to you that yesterday, otherwise, we've been heavily involved in ensuring to demystify some of the falsehood about the country. We, the Fians, are humble people. We are people who respect leadership. We do not want some of those mispropaganda, some of this propaganda trying to misconstrue the facts that the people of Lofa are not interested in this regime, that the people of Lofa are fixated to a particular dimension. That is not true. It is a conspicuous misinformation. So we must come and say to you that another one who said the president is disinterested in Lofa County. That is not true at all. A lot of sons and daughters of this country are seated practically well in this government, and they are contributing towards this government, the sources of this government. So I want to say to you that the president is interested, he's enthusiastic, he's prepared to enter Lofa County like second to none. We're going to show you all of the counties that you have witnessed the entry of the president. If you haven't taken anything seriously, you want to commit to the year publicly, you can go to there. The arrival of His Excellency, Dr. George Malawia, will be a triumphant entry in Lofa County. You can be assured that those of our honor will fight to realize that other counties are making arrangements to be part of that history. You know, when we say to you, Lofa is a home of all Liberians. Lofa is a place that all Liberians are comfortably interested in finding part. We did that during the company. We said to you that we are prepared to take the company, and you saw Lofa talk this country by storm. Everywhere you turn, there's nothing you cannot talk about Lofa. We are prepared to do that for you. We are prepared to showcase that. We want to say to our brothers and grandchildren, our brothers and sisters in Maryland, and all over Bondi, Nimba, everywhere you can think. On the day, Lofa is a place to be. You do not want to miss that in your life. You want to be part of history, so that your children will not question you why you didn't form part of that history. Lofa, the people are prepared. The people are the people of Lofa County. The fears are prepared to disrupt you with hospitality. What you call to be very hospitable with you. We are hospitable people, so we will disrupt you. We being very kind. We will show there will be no shortage of food in Lofa County. We're going to show you that as long as you enter Lofa, beginning the third of Lofa, you need not to ask for food. You will be fed as long as you remain on the trip. Anything you offer, you should not, it would not be paid for. No fear that when people will serve you hot water, when people will serve you food, you will be carried away, you will be entertained. And I've been told that one of the best songs being sung in this country, the Hill from Lofa Country. The voices you want to listen to, those voices of songs of hunters and what you call farmers. So you can, anything before the shop of entertainment, Lofa can rest assured. Mr. President, I want to say thank you for giving us the privilege to say to you that we are own, and you can go to there. He will go to places that no president have been to in Lofa Country. He can assure you that. The places that the president have never visited. This president is committed to go there. And watch out for his arrival in Lofa County. There are things you think are happening in our county, but I can tell you things that will happen in Lofa County will be second to none. We saying to you, it's not that Lofa is better than another country, because Lofa is prepared to stimulate the president's mindset to doing more. Lofa is a country, and people, and these people are cultural people. So you journalists, we can say to you, join us to go in Lofa County. Secure a place in Lofa County, and you shall have no regret. And you will be very much comfortable, and you will be well pleased that Lofa is a place. Lofa is a center. It's a melting point. It's a center of attraction for Liberia. In fact, it is the biggest reserve in this country called the Wologisi Mountain. It is the only reserve that what you call the country can build. I'm very proud of. All of the other reserves have been engaged on Lofa. The man Wologisi, the state reserve. Not just only for Lofian, but the entire Liberia. And that's why make Lofa your home today and have no regret tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor. We want to appreciate the Lord Mayor for that excellent presentation. And at this time, we would like to turn to the the members of the press. At most, we are going to entertain 4 questions. Recognize you. Okay, no problem. So the mayor said I'm going to ask questions. So we will identify you by your hand when it is being raised, or your name, your media institution, and go ahead with the question or comment. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. My name is Emmanuel Davis, and I do work for Fortune Television. Well, I do have a couple of concerns that I think I will give my colleagues an opportunity as well to ask their questions. I know you just skim over it a little, but I want to get not a synopsis, but an in-depth explanation of why. The WHY. Why are you talking about bad road condition to Lofa, when in fact the southeast is much more deplorable as compared to Lofa? A few months ago I was in the southeast. I know how it looks like. And also I was in Lofa a few months back. I do know comparatively, when you look at the 2 regions, Lofa is much more better. Why are you fronting for the president's trip cancellation at this time? And also, a B to that question is, why are you speaking? Public Works is not saying anything. Executive Mansion, Information Ministry, but the mayor, who is clocked with the authority to clean our city, Monrovia, is deep into politics. Thank you.
But interestingly, they are as politicians, so there's no difference there. To be a mayor, you understand politics very well. So first of all, to say, you serve as the chief administrator of the city. So you learn divorces from politics. Man by nature, we say one of those philosophers who has stated what is Socrates, what Aristotle and Socrates, one of them said that man by nature is a political being. With that being said, I can say to you, even among you journalists, when you were asking me, I saw Jim Flumo nodding your head saying no, man, I want to from Lofa. So if you have an opportunity to ask questions, you will say well, your comment were very well. But so that one will be competing interests, no matter where you sit. Even though you are a journalist, I've been told you from the Southeast, I admire the fact that you want to speak from where you came from. Well, I'm from Lofa, okay, and I owe no apologies for that. I'm proud to be that. I'm saying to you, this president has visited the Southeast. He has an arrangement, he has engagement towards the Southeast. In fact, when you come to take a deep reflection, the president has said, the Costa House, he has always fled issue. If I will speak to you currently, that even a work current going out in the Southeast, well, he was supposed to go to Lofa condition, but because of the deplorable condition, your consideration about Lofa could be quite different from what Public Works thought. So Public Works has said, since to take the president there, they thought that they needed to make some immediate intervention. It is indicated, against that, Public Works decided to intervene. Well, you're right, Public Works should be saying that. The mayor has the right to disseminate information. Another thing, after Lofa, I played pivotal role for his arrangement going to Lofa, and I've been, heavily invested into the arrangement about that. So I thought it's appropriate enough, since we were, the physics and the drivers in ensuring that the president has a comfortable arrival and the stadium of the country. It is fair enough, like I said to you, people of culture. We were on radio mobilizing our people, inspiring our people to go there. So the fair thing to do is to come back to the public and say to them not to be seen disrespectful. Today, when our people are expecting the president to be, we who were trumpeting the drum major for his arrival, it's not fair enough to be use the same medium to communicate that doesn't change our responsibility as a mayor. It doesn't also change our responsibility of cleaning your city. I don't think you have issue when the mayor tries to multitask. As I speak to you, I focus on few other issues. But I think we want to see clearly things are on course. Lofa is a place to be. We want to share with our people, our elders who are expecting our people. But there are a lot of things we have done. So, well, to answer your question, whether you turn to this and now say, we always going to spend our time, but we'll tell you exactly, you can define how it. But information on that question is it's not that it's a particular interest. Probably won't make that decision. There are a lot of things we speak on here. You don't say because information ministry is not saying that we can see. We involved, because we involved, we are answerable. Because we are answerable, we must communicate to our answers.
Well, thank you. Mayor Jefferson Koijee. My name is Peter Moniga from the Liberian Media Network. I work for BCTV. In terms of keeping the country green and safe, how is the state of Monroe?
Well, until we get there, we stay safe to you. We have challenges towards that. We're working towards that. I said to you, it is not only us, you journalists, our residents, our donors, and everyone. But the way things were bad, things are not like that anymore. Our current transfer station has been well cleaned. So now we have Central Monrovia, our people can move in. When we're trying to move the Wellington, we're trying to climax our engagement to Wellington, the landfill. With the support of the World Bank, hopefully we'll be moving to our new landfill, Chisburg, where we have 100 acres there. It will be a new landfill. We have some, and that's what we're saying to you before the end of this year. We'll be highly interested in ensuring transitioning from what is known to a primary waste collection, where we can be able to be engaging the waste from your resident, where now people can go just collect it. And we also think we're trying to cultivate a block system where each community will be divided into several blocks. And when it is divided into blocks, where our CBEs will be able to empower them, we move in, so that you don't have to come on the street and put your waste anymore. Though the marketers, the marketing association, I will speak to you in deep crossing, there's a lot of confusion. Those are one of our challenges that we have. Those are people who produce a lot of this, but do not pay for their waste. And you just place it and you say, trying to embarrass. But all those issues are the complexity we talk about. Talking about it should not be misconstrued that we complain. We find a solution around that. But that's a very good question. We speak to you on the average. We're doing pretty well. We're hoping to be quite good so that our people can be very pleased with our work. But as a now, we're making some strides that seems to be much better than yesterday.
Thank you very much. My name is Sekou. I'm in that corner. I report for Stronger Financial Committee. Since you are Senator as Mayor of the Liberia City Government, there have been several challenges confronting the Liberia City Government in terms of thwarting waste management. In order to thwart waste management, it should be a collective effort of every citizen. What have been your call to citizens of Monrovia and its environment in terms of thwarting waste management? What are the modalities the Monrovia City government is working on to mitigate some of those challenges that is confronting MCC in terms of thwarting waste management? And my last question has to do with, will you be with the president on his county tour to Lofa County comes June? Thank you very much.
The first one, that question is you can't answer yourself. And I think you said collective approach. I think that become our mantra, each and every one of us. It should become a mantra, because when it is considered in such a way, we make some effort. Because certain places, we read the place a young man, it's everybody's business. It's everybody's business. And it's good that it's been echoed by you as a journalist, because no single person got the resources, but institution got the capacity to do it. Because waste, it is a, what do you call it is a daily basis. Waste is produced on an hourly basis, on a minute basis, every time people produce. Just eating is synonymous to them. But how waste is synonymous to us. As you eat, you transform it into waste. So your activities is transformed into waste. So it is a huge challenge. We are very certain that under our leadership, there will be a well-articulated joint solution, whether in our present or in our absence, that whosoever comes after us will not have to confront those challenges that we confronted after our predecessors. We're going to show you that. We're trying to put a system into place so that whether we hear or not, that will be addressed. I think I want to say thank you for highlighting that. That is our point. On the issue of Lofa, obviously, the fact that I said before you and tried to tell you the cancellation of the president, engagement of Lofa, and I don't really mean I'm trying to encourage the members. You have a place in Lofa. I'm trying to encourage all of you people. Lofa becoming a bastion of hope and opportunity. It's just a matter of time that we want to move. If Lofa move, you will reject my movement. I can say that for you strictly. Just a rule. If Lofa become Nima Kante a quota, a few people will stay in Monrovia. Because Lofa has almost everything. Only few people. I always say to you, Liberia, the day Lofa will see quota in Foya, I can say to you, there will be a sharp depopulation of Monrovia instantly. Because people got no interest. Like, can you just come here and just come and pass and go by? Because the seniority of Lofa is so glaring, it's so fantastic. So in short, young man, God's willing, we help. We will comfortably be on the president. In fact, I will be ahead of the president. Because I custom tradition, I should be receiving him in Lofa country. So we pray for long life, we pray for good health, and we will be ahead. So we want to say, thank you. We can go to bed. Be expecting us receiving the president.
Yeah, Mayor, thank you very much. William Mwaba from the Independent Inquirer. Thank God you spoke about the dinner last night. You continue the dinner with the Islamic community since Senesi as mayor of the city. But last night the chief imam made a threatening statement that there will be no peace, or there might be no peace if the Islamic community or Muslims are not given a public holiday. Mayor, have you received calls from your boss, President? We are orders, maybe the police or the security apparatus, for the chief imam to appear and answer some questions? And the view to that is that has the statement caused any problem to your political life?
You see, we're talking clearly about what transpired, but again, not for you, Mama. A lot of people following us. And when we attempt to delve into the intricacy of what we're trying to imply, is consider two things. Before it becomes threat, it should commiserate with the capacity. So that consider whether do you have any history of the chief imam become or have ever perpetrated violence or threat? Does he have the capacity to match what quote you want to turn into? So sometimes when comments are made, you reflect on historicity. When it doesn't some month to that, sleeping dog go to bed. Chief Imam came to the program, claimed he spoke through a microphone. Since yesterday up to now, that comment raveled any semblance of destruction. Until now we say no. Do we have the capacity as the government to contain? We don't seek permission to provide governance and protection for the Nigerian people. I think the NSA is equipped, the police are equipped. They do not go around sneezing for everything that is your own you. They don't catch fresh code for sneezing. So I want to say to you, in my opinion, the Chief Imam attended our program. He expressed his emotion, his feelings. In the same comment, he asserted, but you journalists, he asserted that the Muslims of this country have never and will ever get involved in violence. Do you want to speak to that history? There is any evidence to one that? Obviously, yes. They got no history of violence. We're not talking about skirmishes. Cannot be used as a yardstick to define them holistically. So until then, I can say to you from my lenses, as both as a political pundit and a mayor as a person, that's how we treat that statement. After his statement, we break bread together, we eat together. He walked in. And he also said that we continuously perpetuate peace and stability. So there's no marriage into that. So we do not want to have dowry on the issues. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Thomas Koijee. I'm both for Freedom FM and Freedom TV. Honorable Mayor, you talk about moving to waterside very soon.
Thank you so much.
So what are plans for your government, the state government of Liberia, to address the ways of peace in waterside? And what are also plans that you guys have on board to address the bad odor of Central Monrovia?
Well, it's a long-age program. You know, sometimes when you say some of these things, people say, flipping through the pages, we were made to understand that Monrovia was, well, Monrovia, let me not outfit you there before it becomes a debate. But Monrovia was built or constructed for a smaller amount of people or inhabitants. And I think those people who built Monrovia, when you take into consideration now, Monrovia is possibly more than 1.5 million inhabitants. So, if take an example, if Monrovia been perceived to be constructed or built for 200,000 inhabitants, and we're talking about close to 2 million persons currently who are in Monrovia, you will obviously get to know that those facilities that were constructed will be overwhelmed. Those facilities will come on a shock. So again, it's not an excuse, it's reality associated with, you know, with any condition. So as it is now, we're working with water and sewer to see how we can readjust and conform to the given reality of the city. If you hear there's two schools of thought, there are other people who believe that the city should be relocated because it's quite congested as it is. Because it cannot conform with the given reality of the people, of its inhabitants. So I'm not going to say it to you here because I'm beyond the microphone and say to you, I try hard not to deceive myself, not to deceive someone. I try to remain very authentic. There are challenges, and those challenges, we must be very frank with them, was not created by people who are currently in state in governance. What we try to do is to find solution. But those solutions that we're trying to find will not be magical. Those solutions will be what we refer to gradual or historical gradualism, like one step at a time. So, what is taking place in Waterside is not jealousy, it is, that is a, what you call a tip of the iceberg. It is a whole sewage system in Central Monrovia. The whole sewage system in Central Monrovia. So you can't just run to Waterside and you think you're solving the issue. There are a lot of things happening, even latrines where people construct things and all those things. So it's a whole case. So as we speak to you, we're working with some of the national partners where we can just solve them and solve it holistically. So as it is now, water and sewer, trying to see how we can provide temporary solution until we can find a holistic solution that will in turn become perpetual. On the aspect of one side, as you can be aware, during the epicenter of COVID, our people was being congested on one side, and we tried to engage in upliftment, changing their condition into something more appreciated. But go down one side, you see some of our people who are to launch them into offices. Evident of the fact, see what is transpiring on the side. I mean, disorganized. No true advocate will remain quiet on that. But again, the office have been secured, the interests of the people are dissipated and tainted there. We know them, and the people get to know them very soon. So we're going back to say to our people, you need to reorganize. It says those tables were constructed by taxpayer money so that it can be utilized by you. We want to reorganize Waterside so people can have passage. So this is a beginning. We're launching it. The Director General is here. We're also trying to talk about our people that will move in and we communicate with our people. So hopefully, next month, when the tables are turned over to them, they can begin to use them. And all of them in the street will be able to inform them. We'll not be surprised people will come back again and say they want to speak in the interest of our people. But we're not surprised of that. Gentlemen, can we now?
Thank you. Just before you leave, I have a question for you, Mayor.
All right, Mama, you want to say something again?
I want to thank you for your openness to the media. The name is Augustine Side, and report for Truth. I have two questions for you.
What's your name again?
I'm Augustine Side.
Oh, Augustine Side.
I report for Truth.
Thank you.
My first question has to do with the dedication that is in the United States. There have been reports on social media and from a political commentator as well that you do have an invitation for the diaspora, but the specific is not known as to whether you are going for SYZ meeting or you are just trying to portray as one of those persons who was sent invitation. And the second question has to do with we know the name Jefferson Koijee. We read newspapers, we read articles, we follow radio. You've been one of those advocates in this country. The recent trending issue has to do with the establishment of World Economic Council. You being a man who believes in accountability, are you still on the full path, the trending of supporting the establishment of the vote?
Well, quite frankly, time of one number, I make my view clear. Yeah? I haven't minced my words. I was advocating as a youth leader, as a youth activist. I got no intention. You see, that's the uniqueness of our people. We were born at Koijee, and we got no intention to change. What we did years back, we still remain true to our principles. When we were advocating on issues here, we were the first government official who said we still believed in the full establishment of said code. Is that my first and that's the second. And I know what you're dreading to. about my being in America, sometimes not everything you respond to. Time is evidence of misconception. But because you put it through, a lot of people call me for the record, say I received an invitation for Chicago mayor. That is a blatant lie. I received no invitation, no mayor has written me, but I go and see the scenario. I've been invited by the mayor, and he said I have to be waiting for a letter of guarantor. A high-risked personality of the U.S. government, and you say a mayor will interfere with an FBI investigation. That speaks to the point and define the character who speak and the character who make known a succession. But it's not the character, it is you, the listening audience. Define yourself. Because the character is known. It's you who subscribe. It is you that may define and see what do you accept and what do you consider yourself to be. So we want to say for the public, at no point in time, that this office, well, it's not a bad thing if a mayor extends an invitation on us, which of course we've been opting for that a lot, but in the context in which it's been said, the way it's been portrayed, by the way, we understand what Koijee means to a lot of people. And we understand the ripple effect that it causes. We understand the nutmeg that it causes to people whenever we appear, whenever the name is being pronounced. We all know sympathy and apology for those people. All we say to them, we pray along with them, that they should be able to get over their nutmeg very soon. And normally we say to you, it's not a good thing we're trying to be sarcastic. We're not. And I say to you, one person, I'm not a medical practitioner. So I've got no medicine for personal bitterness. But someone who is bitter, you just need to intervene, you need to help. You need to seek, physicians. So they get involved. I'm a political man, I do political things here. And that's why I'm not bothered about what people say about me, because it's to say it's easy. To prove, of course, that not everything has been said is proven. So once you cannot prove, you have the luxury to say whatever you want to say. But we are confident and we are focused on what we have a piece of job to do here. We are grateful to His Almighty God for the president giving us or reposing His confidence in us as young as we are, quote unquote, with our limitation that people may want to subscribe. But He looked into us and saw a molecule of potential. He decided to entrust us. We are grateful for that. We feel burdened that what we do here will live after us, so that young people can have the courage that we too can be with justice, with serious responsibility. And when those trusts are bestowed upon us, delivery is also certain. So we focus ourselves on solving those issues. So some of our friends who stay believe and stay catching fever over our presence, all we do, we pray for them for speedy recovery, and not too long. But we here, make no mistake, we are not visitors. We're not here to visit, we're here to stay. And while staying here, we're here to deliver on those that's been given. So we want to say to you, good friend, we're here, and certain things will change for the evidence that is associated with it. We don't go after trying to prove or to validate. We are who we are, and we don't seek your permission.
Do you support the establishment of the World Crime Court?
I said that 100%. 100%. We have no detour towards that.
Yeah, let me ask the final question. I'm not working for you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the last and final question.
Yeah, very final.
Chinua, you ask the question again?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Again, my name is Emmanuel Davis, and this is online sophisticated fortune television. You know, I do know that I'm going back to Lofa. I do know that Lofa does live on past glory, the bread basket. The basket is there, but there is no bread. But that is not an issue. There are speculations that Lofa is not prepared to receive the president. This is one of the main reasons why the trip time was changed to next month. Simply because one of their sons that was overwhelmingly elected during the December polls is up to now being held, and he's not yet in office, and that vacuum is still there for long again. What do you have to say to that? The B, and finally, the first floor of the city government of Monrovia, buckets on your floor that is, virtually trying to get water from your leaking.
Normally when you say you are challenged, people say, oh, the mayor is nothing. But if you can say you see bucket here, it's a fair promotion that the city government needs assistance. This building where you rent 10% top on time, it faces serious challenges. Now we hope that all our leadership we can be able to change and have a new brand building. But it is, we stay managing with it, and there are some places here we stay moving to. Well, it's good you've seen it, and sometimes there's not a fun pleasure, and we want to mark it. It's there because of the challenges it's faced with, and it's good that a person like you can begin to say it publicly, so that when we say these things, it's not just about Mayor Koijee, even a respectable journalist like you. I think we need to take a picture of that, and you keep it on your own round feed. And some of our brothers around who can do very well, can begin to look down, because the city hall is not Koijee dwelling place. It's a representation of everyone. If it looks very bad, it signifies a negativity that represents what across everyone. So I think it's also good that we begin to see those things and we begin to help each other. I admire that. And when you go journalists, you got go right there, he sings very well. That's something he's saying, it's right in the middle of the road there. We've been struggling to do that. We're having to find military, we've been back and forth. We're struggling how to pay these people. We're also struggling how to deal with what you call the fuel, and I began the cash on labor. Still have so much to do. At the same time, we have a building that have been in existence for a very long period of time. For you journalists to not know that this building will be a government situation, it speaks a lot. But I think it's good that we, as people, we will begin. We hope that under the George, we are leadership, and we continue to be filled. We can be able to build this place, we'll build a Nathan Ross. You see how long Nathan Ross stayed here for? Since 1956. You do see Nathan Ross there? He served from 1956 to 1970. So the building where you right there since 1956. Can you imagine? It's been a pretty long time. And we stay here. So you think we can build like this, we did golf, we serve. How much the only place you saw? The other place down in the theater, you will also go to the theater. So we begin to learn all these things. So not just in the government, we have people at the bottom, when you're in the broad, you're following, and you say, this city needs your assistance. So when we say it, you can say, look, Koijee explain politics. On the issue about Lofa, I don't want to delve into what you say, report Lofa. Time and evidence will prove itself. The people of Lofa, to say, I've said to you the cause. Well, opinion is like gnosis. Everybody is entitled to it. If you feel very opinionated about what I said about you, that is. But what I do know about, that's why I've come to the microphone to let you know, to say the challenges that we engage with, and we're very honored. We're very pleased that this president has said to us, he's going to give the Lofa Road a facelift before his arrival. I think that is honorable. I know our people. If our people are not prepared, it's not Joe going to make them prepared. Let me tell you, the fears are straight people. We do not pretend. It doesn't matter whether you take 20 years or what. Take for example, Lofa is the only county, and we see it very clearly. It tells you the kind of people we are. It is the only county that when Ambassador won 14 counties, Lofa consistently stood alone. Not that, because it is a county that believes in what is believing. It is a country that stands what it stands for. So there's no kind of political chicanery, and you think you can represent or you can try to portray what is not it is. On this note, we do not expect every single person in Lofa County to share the view that we share. But we can say to you that the people, our elders, and the vast majority of the people, the sons of daughter, who Lofa is a part of this country, we got no intention to separate and to deny the country benefits that other countries are benefiting. But no, Lofa is not an island. Lofa is part of our country. And we, since 1964, all the president talked about that this country was being recognized. The country enjoyed being part of this country. The country got no intention to misrepresent its people. While at the same time, there are people with different political positions. We respect the right, and they too also respect us for being. Issue that I would do with God. Well, you journalists, you confuse it seriously. Issue that I would do with court matters. Somebody say if you record and you're coming in. Well, by the way, that is your rule. My rule is to respond. The rule is to ask. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Koijee. Distinguished colleagues of the press, this is how we come to today's press conference.